Hello, welcome to Fandom Nonsense. I'm Zach.
I'm Colin.
I'm Serena
Thanks. And I guess I'm also Nolan
Weird.
tonight.
this time. It's a
Um,
role reversal.
Before we get started, let's let Nolan take off his sweater. Yeah. And let's get to RWBY because oh boy, there is a lot to unpack this episode.
We're starting with RWBY?
Nora.
We're gonna start with RWBY.
Okay.
Yeah, my girl. Oh my God.
It was so nice to actually hear her say all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with
that she's the one to address it.
right. So we'll start with that. RWBY finally has a female in the writers' room, and it
Yeah.
shows.
It does.
Like,
It's really good.
yeah, that was a really well done conversation that people have been wanting for so long. It's for them to address the relationships in the room.
Yeah.
And that was really good development on Nora's part.
Oh, yeah.
We hadn't
it's-
really gotten much development on her end.
Right, outside of, she addressed that outside of her relationship with Ren. You know, they're
Yeah.
always packaged together. So hopefully this season continues to give her own space and everything.
At first, I thought it was a little bit of weird timing, but at the same time, I was like, when else, though?
Right.
When else than this moment?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it was
Well,
a really great scene.
And
to see
stuff
her
had been spiking, and
out.
it's been a day since they kissed,
Oh,
2
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And so after
Yeah, I
all of
keep forgetting
that, yeah.
But it's not been that long at all.
Right.
That's what's great about RWBY in general, I think, is that these characters never stop being human just to be badass for an
Right.
extended period of time.
Yeah. And also they're teenagers. They're still kids.
Right. They're
So-
figuring shit out.
Oh
I-
my god, be strong and hit stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
That-
my
yes.
god, those scars are gonna stay.
That's a fucking
Oh,
t-shirt
I-
for sure.
Oh, I was gonna. I was thinking that how long before that was probably that's probably already in production.
Oh, for sure.
It's probably also going to be athletic jackets. And
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna be really mad if they do it with the keep calm, carry on theme thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
strong, because it totally works for that. Be strong and hit
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it fits the scheme there.
Yeah, but I hope that they don't do that, because I
Right.
would really like that shirt to be badass and not kitschy, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
So the moment
word,
that
right?
they entered that room and the door went back up, and Nora looked at it, I was like, okay, so she's gonna punch through that or
Yeah.
something. They're
Electricity.
very
Right.
clear look.
It was the Chekhov's look.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And then fucking, I was like, she can't. They haven't crossed the threshold yet. Somebody's gonna get trapped in there. And of course, it was Penny, obviously.
Right.
But they hadn't crossed the threshold yet. And I was like, no, don't step towards them one at a time. This is
Right.
not-
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
And then, of course. But shit, did she fucking rail him for a minute there?
Penny? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And that
Penny
was
can
a
hold
good.
her own.
That was a good display of just raw maiden powers, but Penny being new to it. She was just throwing out just brute force attacks. She was not being
Yeah.
tactical with it, and they did overwhelm her. They did win the fight.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, to have that scale of maidens just aren't all powerful just because they have the power. Raven would have cleaned their clocks.
Oh,
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah,
And
she's
Penny's
had.
it's a new power, and she's a tactical fighter, but she also isn't as skilled, especially with that.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm gonna guarantee that Raven could clean fucking most anybody's clock right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
And she's had the powers for years.
Right.
Yeah, obviously excluding Salem herself. But anybody out of that crew would
Yeah.
just, especially in an individual fight. I feel like if Raven went against the main baddies of Salem's on her
Well,
own,
we saw
she'd
what
fucking
happened
Rip 'em.
With her and Cinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Really?
I can't remember.
Yes.
Volume 5, when the big climactic battle in the at Haven. Cinder versus
You
Raven.
just sent me back. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Damn. That was a really good fight.
Yeah.
This was a really good fight.
Yeah.
Morrow showed restraint and used his That's the dog guy's
Yeah.
name, right?
Yes.
No,
He, yeah, he
The
used
one I
his
call Good Boy.
right. He used his power at the like perfect time, because you can tell Penny was like, okay, I'm fed up. I'm going like full maiden on this bitch.
Right.
And before she could, he was like, "Sit, boy," or whatever it is he says.
Stay.
Yeah, stay.
Yeah, what's the hang up with his? I can't remember. Like, what's the way to get around that?
He can only do it once every certain amount of time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
has a
I
time
don't-
constraint.
And
I
he can't
think-
like if he does it again later, doesn't the first one release?
I think so. 'Cause I think that's how Weiss got out of it when she was fighting him last
Okay.
Yeah.
season. She had her son.
Yeah, it's like I knew like when he hit it, I was like, "There's a way out of that, though, isn't there?" And I couldn't remember what the exact the fucking Harriet hammer throw was cool as shit. That was a really cool move. The fucking
I do
off the hammer.
I do kind of gotta call hacks on a human being able to just snap one of Penny's strings.
The wires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That was weird.
okay, that happened.
And who was it that pulled it? It was the big girl.
Did she
No,
use
it's
her
Harriet.
No, it was
Yeah.
Harriet.
Yeah. Okay.
Did she use her semblance
no.
though?
Maybe
Because
Oh,
I mean,
with
velocity
enough.
has something to do
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
So, like,
that's possible.
I was gonna say strong girl. If she grabbed it, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But
Right.
I think it's their imperceptibility that is their main draw. I mean, I know they're supposed to be like hyper strong and everything, but like knowing where it is, I think is half the
Right.
battle there.
yeah, otherwise, well, I mean, and that if they weren't hella strong, I mean, you could just cut them
Right. Yeah.
from midair.
Right.
But where's the wire at any given point? Because they don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. And obviously, they're not going to put out a fucking blueprint. So,
Right.
because then we could be like, why didn't they do this way?
Right. Yeah.
Woohoo!
The other thing, actually, there's a few things this episode, but fucking the remote access on Penny.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
established that pretty firmly.
They established that pretty firmly, and what? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but
Yeah.
let's just
Right.
let's just play the game. What does Watts want that
Yeah.
her sword for, or whatever?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that
Yeah.
was the chink in the armor to take over Penny's brain or whatever
Right.
they're trying to do.
And I wasn't sure if I had talked to Nolan about it. If Penny has to, because she says, "Okay, I'm ready,
Right.
doctor." So does she have to be like, let them in, or if they like, did they get a part of her so that they can just go from
I mean,
the sword to
I'm
her?
sure they can force their way in. If
Oh,
And I don't-
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the let them in thing. I don't know if that was them. I don't know if that was her saying, "Okay, you can do it," as in he was letting her in, or whether she was just like, "Okay, we're at the
Right.
terminal."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Didn't want to.
Right.
But I mean, either one could be true.
yeah.
But if they're gonna brute force it, they're gonna brute force it. I mean, it is
Exactly.
Watts, so
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't saying that
Yeah.
they're not gonna do it because of that. I was just
Right.
like, is
Yeah.
there this extra factor?
yeah.
It hasn't been established. I don't
Yeah.
think that there is.
No.
In real life, you should always get consent before entering someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the stated opinion of Fandom Nonsense and all Fandom Nonsense subsidiaries,
Always get consent.
even if she's a robot.
Especially if she's a robot.
Clamp.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's usually a robot.
Multi-function
Usually.
genitalia.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Also, they like broke down and like actually explained Ruby's semblance in this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Penny understood it better than her.
That was okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
As someone who my favorite characters are, or at least of the team, are Ruby and Blake, who does not get enough Ladybug interaction.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite moments ever.
That was pretty
Like-
great.
Did she just figure out your semblance before you did? Blake, she knew you were fondest before I did.
Which reeled me back to that scene.
Yeah.
Of like
Yeah.
the bow tie, the bow. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Ruby's too pure.
it would be really weird if race operated that way in real life. I mean, it's just like it's somebody. You have to guess. Some people are ambiguous, I guess. Why am I talking about this?
It's like Alfredo from Rooster Teeth. It's like racially ambiguous man.
But the name like Alfredo, he better be Italian, right?
He's not.
Is he not?
He's Filipino.
That's
Can
close
I
enough.
ask-
It's close enough.
You can.
Oh no, I was just be like, can I ask why he was named Alfredo? Like, I want his
I
parents
think
to
it. I
tell
think it
me.
actually is a nickname.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not.
okay.
I'm not quite certain on that. I've
Right.
never looked it up, but I'm pretty
It's
sure
the
it's a nickname.
consistency of his ejaculate.
Somebody. I don't know.
Nothing for that. Fine.
Alfredo's a dish. No. Anyway.
Alfredo's a sauce.
You can make Alfredo sauce, but Alfredo is the dish.
You know what's amazing?
What's that? Zach?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. We're 3 episodes in, and we just and it wasn't even that big of like when you think about like what RWBY is capable of in terms of fights and stuff. We just had the first like real fight of the season, and it's been great. Like I'm not saying that as a complaint, but like 3 episodes in, we just got a little bit of a tease of a fight, and I feel like they're finally like getting the pacing down.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is a complaint of like volumes 4 and 5 specifically that they were too lax on that.
Too
that
drawn out.
They were too
Yeah.
drawn out which I love those volumes, but there
Me
is a
too.
common complaint that they're too drawn out. There's not enough action dispersed throughout, and they kind of like save it for like a few big moments like fighting the Knuckleave or
Tyrion. All that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tyrion and those kind of things.
I do think that was good only to like show how serious those things were.
Yeah.
But I do think there should have been more,
I mean,
or at least like scuffles maybe.
I don't really mind.
Coulda, shoulda, and all of that. It's just I think with the last couple of volumes, especially, RWBY is really, as you've mentioned before, Nolan, is really coming to its own as a show that doesn't need any like prior justification or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's found its footing and its pacing and everything, and
It's got a sweet niche.
yeah, and like. And we're not quite there yet, but comparing it to Zero, which is basically the first season of a new show with a new team and everything, just how the years of developing a show and everything can help it to find its ground if it's given the time and chance to do that.
It's definitely not a necessity for any kind of narrative form that you just like are always like having it fire. Like it doesn't need to be like a rapid fire with like set pieces.
I feel like a big thing with the combat pacing in RWBY right now is that there is no reasonable way for them to have, and in my head I can only reference it as like stormtrooper battles of like fodder and things like that, because they're trying to ramp up how scary the I almost called them Heartless because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts.
You can call them that. That's fine.
The Grim, they are the Heartless, but they're ramping up how dark and scary the Grim are, and watching our, how many of our heroes going and just fighting a bunch of fodder soldiers or even robots would not be really becoming of them, because I don't really think that they want to go in and just mutilate a bunch of soldiers, embarrass them, because they could have fucking taken down everybody in that comm center room. Easily.
Right.
But they didn't want to do that. That's not their goal.
This is not the way.
Yeah, basically. So, like, I could see in the combat pacing why we haven't had a bunch of little battles, because how many Grimm can we watch them fight without ramping down how scary the Grimm seem?
Right, exactly.
Because they're supposed to be ominous right now. So.
Right. I thought that was good that in the prior episode where Oscar was taken, they have a bunch of like small encounters with the Grimm, so that like it seems like they're less of a threat, so that you lower your guard
and then
as the audience, and then then you have a new threat that you have to consider. Yeah.
And like the team who'd been fighting them all day was probably just like, yeah, we've been winning. This is no thing. Let's go. And then like they see that.
Did we see any Grimm in this episode at all?
No.
No, not even in the distance or anything.
Because this was
a good
bottle episode.
I wonder how often that is that we don't see any Grimm in an episode.
It's been happening like a bit.
Like not even in the background
there are periods where you don't see him at all, and then they're just become part of the thrust again. But I mean, this episode was pretty much a complete bottle episode, except for those few cutaways to Watts and Ironwood. It was all pretty much in that location and everything.
Right.
And normally we see like several different cuts.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how many badass new team moves we get with RWBY. knowing like her semblance and everything.
Yeah.
Because that was super. I was like,
Well,
you're
and
gonna fall.
everyone-
Like you got to do the thing.
Oh, she can also like use it to like pick somebody up and leave them in a compromised position, and
Right.
then leave as
Yeah. Well, and like
That'd be cool.
I wonder
Yeah.
how that shit works.
Yang and Wise have done that before, like being broken down into molecules. It was like Blake's first time, because Ruby's moved them all before.
Right.
Oh yeah,
It
she
was
just doesn't
Blake's
think
first-
about
Blake
it.
and Nora's
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
Maybe she just didn't. She's like
When did
got
she
them all
move
out
them?
of dodge before, but I
Yeah.
don't.
Was that during the? I thought the first time that she did that was during the like did it in combat was the fucking robot battle, the big ass robot. I thought that was the first time. I could be wrong.
Like in season 2?
No, I'm talking
I-
about the
Yeah, the
Big ol'-
Godzilla.
big old
Yeah.
robot and Godzilla fucking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ruby destroy all monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
Ruby
No,
destroyed
she's
Grim.
definitely done it before, Colin. I don't
Yeah.
think she's done that with Blake though,
Okay.
and that's what
Yeah.
a lot of people on the Reddit were saying too, because they were trying
Gotcha.
to come up with whether or not it happened before.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Penny's adoration for Ruby at that moment was pretty cute,
Oh yes.
and Ruby doing her fucking weeb shit.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
the-
yeah.
The
fucking Blake
the-
just
the-
falling behind.
the chibi explainer bubble is a great
Oh yeah.
great element we haven't seen in a
It's
while.
nice.
And it makes total sense for Penny. I want her to explain everything like that.
Right.
Because it made me feel like I was a child, and I was just like, this makes sense, yes.
And you know, show don't tell, but we've seen Ruby do it 1,000 times, but you're never gonna understand that kind of like mechanic
I
Right.
feel
if
like
it's
them
not
doing
like
that for semblances is a fucking good thing. To
Yeah.
See, what I thought was up with her semblance, even though I knew she could like travel in independent rose petals, I thought like something just enclosed, not like the molecules
Yeah.
were being broken down.
right.
You don't think of it as like a fluid, like gaseous thing unless
Yeah.
Right.
it's explained to you like that.
I thought it was just like
Mm.
some weird, not necessarily
I thought of it as like a bullet,
shell,
yeah.
but yeah.
I thought of it as like a rotating bullet or something like that. But maybe that's just like it looks like the bore path of like a rifle kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shit, cool stuff all the way through.
Yeah.
What you got, Colin?
There. I'm just thinking about. Can she do it with objects, or do they have to have an aura for her to be able to do it?
No, I think anything with
And
mass.
they just said something with that could be broken down into molecules, so that's like everything.
So then, what could she actually? Because if weight doesn't matter at that point,
What has to be? I
No.
assume
Whoa.
what she can pick up with her own strength.
she can't pick up all of her teammates with her.
I'm
own
sure.
Sure, she
can.
could. I bet all of them could
I
lift
mean,
Ooh,
lift each other
They
for sure.
are buff.
Yeah,
I know
their
they're
aura.
fucking
They have
strong.
aura
Don't
strength.
get me
Yeah.
wrong. They're fucking strong. They got the aura. They got everything. But like, well, maybe. I guess you're right.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
like Penny.
I'm trying to think of feats of strength that she has done, but she
Doesn't
does like
weigh
break
much.
concrete every time she swings her scythe. So
Yeah.
She shatters stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now that I'm thinking about the feats of strength, all of them have shown. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they could probably.
And like
all
she's been
fucking
doing
lift.
that since she was little, because she would like train with Crow.
right.
Yeah. I liked that the episode opened with a misdirection because I thought they were like with the silence or the noise and just like the black. I thought we were like gonna open on Oscar and what he's
Mhm.
going through
Yeah.
and like the sound design there, like
Right.
it kind of sounded ambiguous. Like who are we hearing?
Right.
But then they opened on they were just in the tubes and like so that like subdued that expectation of like suffering and like immediately replaced it with like a happy joke moment, which makes the joke land harder.
Right.
Never want to do that again. Another
Oh.
thing I don't want to do ever again.
And Nora Weiss just shuts the door on her.
Right. No, I would honestly, and it's hard to remember specific RWBY episodes because I pretty much watched them a couple times when they come out, and then I never watched them episodically again. And I just watched the seasons after that point. But there are a few episodes that stand out as just being on their own, as just being top notch. One that comes to mind is the apathy episode
Ah.
from Volume 6.
So well written.
Yeah, so well written, so well
Yeah.
done. And this is definitely up there as just on its own, just as an episode. Certainly important things building up in the larger plot and all of that, but just as a standalone episode, this is out of the park for me.
I would have been satisfied with just Super Saiyan Nora, honestly.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I hope I hope she has the scar pattern
she's
not
from
listening.
now on.
There's no
Awesome.
way that's going away.
It's so cool.
There are so many things in this episode that on their own would have warranted it being like worth its salt as an episode, but to have all of that, the girl talk, the Nora's battle scars, Penny versus the Aesops, all that shit. Great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Dear
Because you had to use the shovel.
God, I have dear God, I have a busy week, but if I live up to my promise to you, then there will be a new Heart-Shaped Boxers song this week or sometime this week.
It's a good one. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What
then,
was I gonna say? Oh no, it's a different one. Ah, bullshit.
and then hopefully, if I can get the video done and Premiere does not give me any more assery, I've got a new essay coming out next Monday.
Ooh.
About Batman and police and white supremacy and toxic masculinity and how all those things tie in together in Gotham.
Right on.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
You have to just watch and find out,
A
Colin.
lot of points to hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah, it's actually.
If you're a good enough detective, the clues are all there.
But for now, and of course, follow us here on Twitch. Tomorrow, I assume Aaron will probably be streaming Apex Legends sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Sounds like something he'd do.
Sounds like something he would do.
Sounds like something you would do.
Anyway, and any other things to go over before we bid our friends a fond adieu?
I'm gonna give them a shot of what's going on at our feet here. If I can.
Give him the dandy shot.
Yeah, I'll give him a.
My boy.
Is exclusive for the live stream. Let's
There
check.
he is. There's
Good
our
little
boy.
puppy,
Let's
good little puppy.
see if we can't fuck
good
with him a
little
little bit.
puppy.
Oh,
You
yeah,
are-
puppy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a star.
He is not
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, he's not feeling it. This is his nap time. You wanted to be down here, buddy.
Oh, he stretched.
stretch.
All right. There's a pupper. Bye.
Yep.